Welcome back. So I put a poll in the community tab about reading facts about space and the universe, and everybody that voted yes. So get comfortable and relax while I read 50 incredible space facts to you guys. So, let's begin. Number 1. Space is completely silent. There is no air or atmosphere in space. Since it's a vacuum, sound waves will have no medium to travel to. That means no one will hear you scream in space, even if you shout the loudest. Number 2. The hottest planet in our solar system is 450 degrees Celsius. The hottest planet in the solar system is Venus. The scorching planet has an average surface temperature of about 232 degrees Fahrenheit. Increasingly, Venus is not the closest planet to the Sun. Mercury is. Mercury has no atmosphere to regulate the temperature, so it has a very large temperature fluctuation. Venus, on the other hand, has the thickest atmosphere among the planets. This atmosphere traps the heat, making Venus very hot. Number 3. There may be life on Mars. Of all planets in our solar system, apart from Earth, Mars is the most likely to be hospitable to life. In 1986, NASA found what they thought may be fossil and microscopic living things in the rocks recovered from Mars. Number 4. Nobody knows how many stars are in space. The sheer size of space makes it impossible to accurately predict just how many stars we have. Right now, scientists and astronomers use the number of stars only within our galaxy, the Milky Way, to estimate. Number 5. Halley's Comet won't orbit past Earth again until 2061. Discovered in 1705 by Edmund Halley, the famous comet was last seen in 1986, and it is only seen every 75 to 76 years. A full NASA spacesuit costs $12 million. About 70% of the cost was the backpack and the control module. If we were to convert the total amount of today's pricing, this would be approximately $150 million. Number 7. Neutron stars can spin 600 times per second. Neutron stars are the densest and the tiniest stars known in the universe. And although they have the radius of about 10 kilometers, 6 miles, they may have the mass of a few times of that of the Sun. Number 8. There may be a planet made out of diamonds. As space facts go, this is pretty impressive. Research by Yale University suggests that a rocky planet called 55 Cancri, it's twice the size of Earth and has the mass of 8 times greater. It has the surface made up of graphite and diamonds. It's 40 light years away, but visible to the naked eye and is in the constellation of Cancer. Number 9. The footprints on the moon will be there for 100 million years. The moon has no atmosphere, which means no wind to erode the surface and no water to wash away the footprints. has a slow axis rotation, which takes 243 Earth days to complete its day. The orbit of Venus around the Sun is 225 Earth days, making a year on Venus 18 days less than a day on Venus. I hope I read that correctly. Number 11. In 3.75 billion years, the Milky Way and Andromeda galaxies will collide. The Andromeda galaxy is approaching the Milky Way, where our solar system is, at a rate of around 110 kilometers per second, and eventually the two will collide to form a giant galaxy. Number 12. If two pieces of the same type of metal touch in space, they will permanently bond. Number 13. There is floating water in space. Astronomers have found a massive water vapor cloud that holds 140 trillion times the mass of water in the Earth's ocean, somewhere around 10 billion light years away, making it the largest discovery of water ever found. Number 14. The largest known asteroid is 960 kilometers, 600 miles wide. Discovered by an Italian astronomer. In 1801, the dwarf planet Galaxies was the first and largest object to be considered an asteroid. It is located in the asteroid belt between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter and account for 33% of its entire belt mass. Number 15. The moon was once a piece of the Earth. The theory is that the Earth was relatively a young planet. It was struck by a giant object, and this collision broke a piece of the Earth away to create the moon. This piece then began to orbit the Earth as a result of its gravitational pull. Number 16. The Sun's mass takes up 99.86% of the solar system. The Sun is made of 3/4 hydrogen, and most of its remaining mass is helium. This yellow star is 330,000 times as massive as the Earth. Number 17. There is a volcano on Mars 3 times the size of Everest, at 600 kilometers wide and 21 kilometers high. Olympus Mons is the volcano on Mars that still may be active according to the scientists. It is the tallest peak of any planet. However, the Via Silvia central peak of the asteroid on the asteroid Vesta is taller than 22 kilometers. Sorry if I screwed that up. Number 18. Mercury and Venus are the only planets with no moons. The terrestrial planets Mercury and Venus are not able to hold any moons because of their close distance to the Sun. The Sun's gravity is much stronger and will pull any natural satellite orbiting these nearby planets. Number 19. Saturn has 82 known moons and counting. Saturn has the most number of moons known in the solar system. It is the biggest moon. It's the biggest moon. Titan is bigger than Mercury. The ringed planet has some smaller moons called shepherd moons that keep Saturn's ring in shape. Number 20. The gas giant Jupiter is a failed star. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. Is composed of hydrogen and helium. These are the same elements of our Sun is made up of. However, Jupiter is not large enough to start nuclear fusion and generate its own energy. If it were around 80 times bigger, it would become a star with low mass. 21. Uranus orbits the Sun on its side. Uranus is often called the sideways planet because its orbit is tilted by about 98 degrees. This tilt makes the ice giant planet appear as if it were spinning sideways. 22. Pluto is now classified as a dwarf planet, not a planet. Many planet-like objects are getting discovered, which means the number of planets will keep changing. Because of this, the International Astronomical Union made a new category called dwarf planets. 23. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. Pluto and Charon could be a double dwarf planet system. Pluto's largest moon, Charon, is about half the size of this dwarf planet. This makes it the biggest moon in relative size to its parent body. These two mutually tidally locked to each other. It means that the same side of Charon faces Pluto and vice versa. 24. There are 5 officially recognized dwarf planets in the solar system. The 5 dwarf planets are Ceres, Pluto, Haumea, Make, and Eris. This number could grow as more objects like these are discovered. 25. The Earth's moon is the 5th largest moon in the solar system. The biggest satellite is Ganymede, which orbits Jupiter. The second largest is Titan from Saturn. And the third and fourth place are Callisto and Io, which are both moons of Jupiter. 26. Sorry if I screw up some of these names. These names are just, I didn't look up the pronunciation for them. Enceladus, Saturn's moon, is the most reflective body in the solar system. Enceladus has an icy shell that reflects about 100% of the light that reaches it. It does not absorb much sunlight, which makes it very icy. It makes it a very icy cold world, with temperatures around negative 201 Celsius, which is 330 degrees, which is negative 330 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 27. The moons of Uranus were named after characters created by Alexander Pope and William Shakespeare. Uranus has 27 known moons. Some of its most notable moons are Oberon, Titania, Miranda, Ariel, and Umbriel. Number 28. There are more stars in the universe than all the grains of sand on Earth. If we combined all the sand of the beaches and the deserts in the world, there would still be 10 times more stars in the universe. It is estimated there are 7 sextillion stars out there. Number 29. The sun will engulf the Earth 5 billion years from now. The sun is still a main sequence star. It generates energy by turning hydrogen into helium. As it turns into a red giant, it will become bigger and brighter. When our sun reaches this stage, its expansion would likely reach the orbit of the red planet Mars. Though the sun is not yet a red giant, it is still much bigger than Earth. In fact, about 1 million Earths can fit inside the sun. Number 30. When you look at a star, you can actually see how it was in the past. Light takes time to reach the Earth. For instance, sunlight takes about 8.5 minutes to reach the Earth's surface. The bright star Sirius, for example, is roughly 8.6 massive stars end their lives through supernova explosions. In the last stage of stellar lives, stars are more than 5 times more massive than the Sun would explode into a supernova. Supernova explosions are caused by either a star collapsing into itself or a white dwarf in a binary system. Some of these big blasts leave black holes too. Number 32. Galaxies are either elliptical, spiral, or irregular. Galaxy types are usually classified based on their appearance. Our Milky Way, for example, is a spiral galaxy. As more galaxies are discovered, we have also learned that they come in all shapes. Aside from the main types, there are also lenticular galaxy, weird-looking, peculiar galaxies. Number 33. There are 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. I think that's 2 trillion. The universe is so big that we are not able to see it entirely. The only region of space visible to us is called the observable universe. Still estimates show that there are roughly 2 trillion or 2 million galaxies in the observable universe alone. 34. Most galaxies have a central black hole. While the nature of black holes is still uncertain, scientists have found that they are usually around 1 to 1,000 thousandths as massive as their home galaxy. The central black hole of the Milky Way, for example, is 4.6 trillion times the Sun's mass. 35. All the planets in the solar system have been visited by uncrewed spacecraft. Venus was the first planet to be visited by spacecraft in 1962. It was also the first where probe had landed. Even the outer planets had visitors like Cassini spacecraft, which orbited the Saturn for 13 years. Number 36. Voyagers 1 and 2 have been operating for more than 40 years. The Voyagers launched in 1977 are still sending back data to Earth. Voyager 1 entered the interstellar space in 2012, and the Voyager 2 also reached the region in 2018. These are the farthest and the only spacecraft that have left the heliopause. Number 37. The boundary of the solar system ends in a spherical cloud known as the Oort cloud. This is a hypothetical sphere composed of icy bodies that surround the solar system. It marks the limit of the sun's gravitational influence. This predicted region is believed to be around 2,000 to 100,000 astronomical units from the sun. Number 38. About 1.4 billion years ago, a day on Earth was just 18 hours and 41 minutes long. The moon is moving away from the Earth by around 3.78 centimeters. This causes changes in the moon's tidal effects, which in turn slows down the Earth's rotation. Number 39. The International Space Station is about as wide as a soccer field. The ISS is the largest thing we have flown in space. From end to end, it measures around 109 meters or 356 feet, traveling at 27,700 miles kilometer per hour. It orbits the Earth around every 1.5 hours. Number 40. This is something that requires timing though. The ISS becomes visible from Earth when it reflects sunlight. However, during the day it can easily get lost in the sun's glare. The best time to see it, even with the naked eye, is before sunrise and after sunset. I might have to think about that because I do have a telescope. I got a telescope like a couple years ago. I haven't messed with it in a while. Maybe I should take it out and start looking. Number 41. Mars has a reddish sky but bluish twilights. Mars is known as the red planet because it is rich in iron. The iron reacts with elements and rust, making it red all around. The same fine dust particles scatter light differently when the sun is close to the horizon. Number 42. Astronauts grow taller in space. Astronauts can grow about 5 centimeters, 2 inches during their stay in space. The reason for this is the lack of gravity, which expands the discs of their spine, making them taller. This was proven when astronaut Scott Kelly spent 340 days in space, and when he returned to Earth, he became taller than his twin brother. Number 43. The closest star system to us, Proxima, is 4.25 light years away. Number 44. A rose was brought to space in 1998. The company International Flavors and Fragrance wanted to know if bringing a rose into space would yield scents. The rose aboard the Discovery Space Shuttle, when it came back to Earth, it was sampled and used to produce perfume. Number 45. There are more than 4,000 known exoplanets, and counting these planets that are outside the solar system. They came in different sizes and compositions. Extragalactic planets, on the other hand, are planets are outside the Milky Way. Number 46. Other planets and even the moon have auroras too. The colorful light shows of auroras happen when solar particles collide with the atmosphere. This event has also been observed on Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. The largest moon, Ganymede, also has aurora displays. Number 47. Shooting stars are space debris that burn up when they enter Earth's atmosphere. There are a lot of space debris in space called meteoroids. These are usually chunks of comets and asteroids. Sometimes the Earth passes them in orbit. These objects burn up in our atmosphere, looking like shooting stars. Number 48. We often see astronauts in white spacesuits, but there are orange spacesuits too. The color of spacesuits depend on the astronaut's activity. White suits are for extravehicular activity when they spacewalk. This color helps reflect the sun's heat. The orange advanced crew escape suits are when the astronauts take off or re-enter Earth. The color makes it easier for them to be seen anywhere, especially at sea. Number 49. As of 2021, more than 600 people have been to space. Number 50. The last one. The outer space is very cold with a temperature of around negative 454.75 Fahrenheit. Space is indeed very cold. This is close to absolute zero, or negative 59.67 Fahrenheit, which is the lowest temperature ever possible. So, anyways guys, those are just some of the facts that I have found on the internet. I do enjoy reading through some of them, or just different theories that are out there. Anyways, guys, I hope if nothing else, I hope you found this really